welcome back to my channel.
Hello.
I'm Jennifer, this is Ralph, and this video is going to be my top questions to ask when viewing primary schools. So how old are you, Ralph?
3.
3. And where are you going to be going next year?
It's
a big school, aren't you?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I think he's quite excited, although I'm dreading it. So Ralph is starting primary school next year, and we have been looking at schools, obviously. I would recommend you go and view any schools that are of interest, but what I found is the more schools we've viewed, the more questions I've had, and then I've wished I'd gone back to my first school and asked more questions, and I wish I'd just had a set of questions to ask every school from the start. So these are my top questions. So I like to ask a school what their transition process is. Now this is a big jump for kids. Some kids have only been to preschool a couple of times a week or nursery, or they might not have even been to anything, and now they're going to be starting primary school full time. And it's good to know how a school will help ease your children in. And by asking this question, I found like so many different ways that they do this, and some schools will work with the preschool and have days where the preschool can bring the children over if they're local. They'll have days where we can actually as a parent bring our children in to view the school maybe like 4 times before they start. I've even seen that they've sometimes done lunch club where the parents can come and join their kids for lunch. And a few schools actually do home visits as well. So the week before your child starts school, they'll come to your home, see your child in their home environment. You get a chance to talk to the teacher, and then when that child starts school, they know their teacher and they can go, oh, I know you. You come to my house the other day, which I just think is a really good idea. I like to know what a school does with their younger starters. Now, in years previously, the kids used to start at staggered points depending on when they were born throughout the year, when now they all start exactly the same time. But my son is one of the youngest in the year. He won't be 4 till July, and then starting the school in the September. So he is going to be one of the youngest, and it does worry me how he's going to interact with, obviously there's some that are going to be nearly a year ahead of him. And some schools will just start everyone on the same day at once. I found that other schools might actually take the younger ones for the first couple of days, and then by the end of the week everyone joins them, just so they can give the younger ones a little bit of a head start in getting used to things. But it is interesting to see how schools do deal with that. Another good question is what the child to teacher ratio is. Now there are government standards on this, that there should be no more than 30 pupils per class, but some classes will have extra teaching assistants. So it's good to know how many extra assistants they have and how often they're in, if they're in all day or half days, who provides them, are they qualified? So moving on to food and what the school lunches are like. Now every child in their first 3 years of school is entitled to a free school meal. But what are the meals? Are there choices? Who picks? Do the parents pick? Do the kids pick themselves? How are the meals prepared? Are they fresh? Are they healthy? It's always good to know how your child is going to be fed. So moving on from food to water and snacks. I know at my son's preschool at the moment, water is readily available and he can just get his water bottle whenever he wants it, and they also have a snack station. So I'm wondering how they transition from this to primary school. Can they have water whenever they want at primary school? Do they have snacks? Who provides the snacks? What are the snacks? Are snacks readily available whenever they need them, or are they at set times? A big one for me is what contact I will have with my child's teacher. Now, do they have an open door policy? Am I able to meet with my child's teacher? Is it something that I can go into the classroom before school or at the end of the day? I just want to know that I have got that contact if I've got any concerns or worries, or just want to know how my son is doing. Obviously, the most important thing is that our child learns. So I want to know how that school supports higher and lower achievers. Now, if my son's struggling in an area, will a teacher be able to spot that and give him the extra help and guidance that he needs? Or if he's doing really well in something, will someone be able to take him a bit further? It'd be really interesting to ask how a school will group their students as well. Like some schools group on, you're in the lower group, you're in the middle group, you're in the higher group. But your child might be at different abilities depending on what they're learning. Like they might be really good at maths, but not so good at English, and then they'd be in the wrong group. So a really good question to ask is how a school will group their students and give them the support that they need. the dreaded homework. Now we all know that our kids are going to get homework, but what sort of homework is it? How much are they going to get? How much are we going to need to help them with it? To be honest, homework scares me a little bit because I see what some kids bring home now and I'm thinking, I don't know how to do that. And I was always pretty good in school, but the way they're taught now is totally different. And it'd be good to know if you get any support as a parent to help your child at home with their learning. And one of the schools I went to visit actually did a workshop for parents, totally voluntary. It's not like going back to school. It was just to, you know, help people, like parents, learn how to teach your children some of these things, which I just thought was a really good idea. I think it's really good for the kids to have outdoor and indoor learning. So what sort of outside space has the school got? Do they do PE? What happens on wet days? I remember as a kid always doing after school kids club, so it's good to know if the school has any clubs that they can offer after school. Like what sports do they do? Is there any teams that your child can join? Obviously it's so important for your child learning to read and write, but the way of the world at the minute, everything is computers and technology. And I really want to know if my child's school has got an IT suite, somewhere that they can learn to use computers, you know, a keypad and a mouse. And one of the schools I went to visit actually had a box of iPads and each class could hire it out as and when they wanted to use them, which I thought was a really good idea. Like I said, reading and writing is really important. So when it comes to reading, how are your children taught to read? And does the school have a library? Is there somewhere that the children can go and pick books to take home? Does someone read with them during the day? I know some people, some schools actually have parents or grandparents come in and actually sit with children one-on-one to just help with their development of their reading. What happens if your child misbehaves? Or if they've been really good? I think it's really good to know a school's point of view on misbehaviour and like good work as well. You know, if they have misbehaved, how are they going to be dealt with? When will I as a parent find out? And also, if your child's been really good, how are they rewarded? Do they get praise? Is there reward charts? Do they get to stand up in assembly? You know, this could be from a good bit of work to a good deed or good behaviour. Like, I really like to know what the school's policy is on this. I think we all like to know how a school's doing in their Ofsted reports. Obviously a good or outstanding school just sounds brilliant, but obviously these are just things to just take into account of to how the school is performing then. Like obviously a new head might come in, like teachers might change, and that could totally change how the school performs over the next 12 months. But I think as mums, we always like to know that the school that we're going to put our son in or daughter into is a good school when we initially start. You excited about starting school?
Yeah.
Are you? What one did you like?
The one with the police car.
Did you?
You want to go to the one? Oh, I like the one near my little police school best.
Did you? You like that one?
You want to go to that one?
The one with the sand?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think for Ralph, it's all about what one has the best toys. So they are my top questions. I hope that you found this video helpful. But all I'd say is definitely go and view any schools that are of interest, because you get a really good feeling for it when you're going around a school. And you know, if you've come away from that school feeling happy, that's a good sign. And you want to know that you're going to feel happy leaving your child there. But you know, while you're there, ask loads of questions. Get a really good vibe off the teachers that you're speaking to. Look at the children. Are they happy? Are they polite? Are they well mannered? Do they look like they're enjoying school? You know, how are they being taught? Do you like how the teachers are talking to them? You know, is the classrooms tidy? Are the toilets clean and tidy? Are artwork shown on the wall? There's so many things to take in. And you know, what's the head teacher like? And I find, like, how does she interact with the children? Does she know any of the children by name? Like, these are all really good things to look out for. And I think you know in your gut whether a school's right for your child or not. But going to visit is so important. So definitely go and do that. Thanks so much for watching. If you've got any other questions that you think would be helpful for parents, then drop them in the comment box below. And if you haven't done so already, I'd love for you to subscribe to my channel. I try and post 3 videos a week, generally on parenting, lifestyle, pregnancy, all things mummy. So I'd love for you to join me, but I will see you again next time. Thanks, bye.